Xdinary Heroes, I'm gonna admit I have not heard a single song from Xdinary Heroes, but I can't judge. I haven't heard any song from them. Maybe I'll like them, but I'll check them out after this video.
Xdinary Heroes is a 6-member boy group under JYP Entertainment and Studio J. They made their debut on December 6, 2021 with the digital single Happy Death Day. I'm just reading this off of Kpop Wiki. At face value, they seem like an idol band that lean more towards emo and punk rock, sort of like My Chemical Romance, for example. And no, I have never listened to My Chemical Romance, but that's just the vibe I get from them. Plus, coming from the same agency as Day6, it's only natural to try and hold them to the same standard as their seniors. But the unfortunate truth is, they completely pale in comparison. Now, I took it upon myself to listen to all of their songs, so consider this a mini discography review. They don't have that many releases at the moment, so I thought it's best to just get it over with. I don't usually go out of my way to listen to the full catalogs of artists unless A, I'm into them, or B, I'm genuinely interested in their music, neither of which apply to Xdinary Heroes. And after making this video, I'm convinced that that is for the best. In fact, most of their songs were a chore to get through, so brace yourselves. Without further ado, I present Xdinary Heroes. Happy Death Day. As an introduction to the group, a first impression if you will, I can't say I'm impressed. When I listen to rock, I want to hear something loud but not obnoxious, and above all, propulsive. One of my biggest pet peeves in K-pop is when a song just drags on and on and on. The verses of Happy Death Day do little to enliven and inspire, hobbling from one lethargic rap/sing-talk segment to another. The song finally decides to somewhat pick up the pace in the pre-chorus, but what it leads to is a dull and abrasive tra-la-la hook, ironically the most memorable part of the track. Overall, there's not much melody to be found, and I don't even know if you could call this a redeeming quality, but this debut is quite representative of the music that they would go on to make, which, judging by the rating, is not a good thing. With the bar set so low in their debut, the only way for the band to go is up. Test Me immediately does better than its predecessor by opening with a well-placed rush of adrenaline, exactly the type of rock intro I want to hear. Whereas Happy Death Day sluggishly limped from section to section, this song bounces along with perceptible energy. The chorus is delivered with a suave of a spy thriller, and the refrains are actually kind of catchy. Already showing signs of improvement. Let's hope they don't fumble the bag. Okay, I genuinely enjoyed this one. Xdinary Heroes really channeled their inner Day6 with the melody and vocals, and they sound great. There is no doubt in my mind that these guys can sing. The production is interesting. I nodded my head to the beat quite a few times and even sang along at certain points, believe it or not. On another note, the descending melody in the hook bears an uncanny resemblance to the one in Stray Kids' Case 143. So is JYP running out of ideas? I must, however, regrettably inform you that this song is their current peak, so things will only go downhill from here. Sucker Punch. I want to like this song, but those hooks just don't seem to stick as well as intended. Throw in some unnecessary shifts in momentum, and the staying power drops further. I don't know, everything is just fine. The chorus is good, but it doesn't really wow me. It's decent, but goes in one ear and goes out the other. While Happy Death Day would limp and stumble, Strawberry Cake is a lifeless corpse dragging itself like going to work on a Monday morning. The lurching synth in the background is like a vacuum that sucks all the happiness out of you like a dementor. The high notes in the chorus are just too screeching for my liking, and even when the production finally wakes up in the end, it is too little too late. Pirates. What do I do with this song? It is certainly a performance piece and an unadulterated showcase of the band's vocals, which is something I can appreciate. But everything else surrounding the majestic pre-chorus is very weak. The stomping beat is not fast-paced enough to carry enough drive, the hooks are so-so, and the production is unsubstantial. Zzz. Not a good choice for a song name given their tendency to produce some rather dreary material. Fortunately, this album opener is not terrible, but it commits much of the same mistakes that prevents me from pressing replay, namely that it feels too nondescript and uneventful to leave a lasting impact. As an intro track, I think it actually sets the mood quite well, but absolutely nothing can prepare us for the disaster that's about to come. Oh, where do I even begin? Firstly, we've been thrust right back into Monday morning with this track as the verses languidly unfold, interspersed by a series of irritating sound effects. The pre-chorus is the only part of the song where they even try, but what happens next is... I'll just play it.
Get a haircut, get a haircut, get a haircut.
This is real life right now. Not even Soyeon could write something this bad. The most absurd part is that they actually follow it up with quite a bombastic melody. So my only question is, what the f happened? Who in the right mind could even comprehend singing along to this asinine hook? Get a haircut! It's still better than Nude though. That's right, as long as I am alive, that song will never hear the end of it. Perhaps I'm still jaded from the last song, but I just can't find anything particularly remarkable to say about Lunatic. The melody is completely forgettable, and even the chorus, which should strike a chord with its anthemic power, doesn't do much. So let's just move on, shall we? At this point, I'm convinced that I've just been cursed to obsessively scrutinize and pick songs apart in search of something commendable or that piques my interest. Because I think for the average listener who's just soaking in the sound as a whole and not really paying attention to the details would quite easily find enjoyment out of tracks that I would otherwise have no feelings for whatsoever. Such is the case for Lunatic as well as Crack in the Mirror. This is especially problematic considering they're a band, and the instrumental of every song is essentially identical, and it all just melds together into one ambiguous mass of drums and guitar. Ghost. This is much better, surpassing the previous two tracks on the strength of its melody alone. Through making this video, I have now realized that melody is of utmost importance in a rock song, nay, every song. The atmospheric synth in the pre-chorus adds some much needed variation in texture, and the hooks finally land, in addition to the jab, cross, and uppercut. That was a boxing reference, by the way. Speaking of boxing, we have Xmas, the final track featured in this video. Now, when it comes to quirky, off-kilter Christmas K-pop songs, Stray Kids' Christmas Evil immediately comes to mind. And Xmas does its best to emulate that eccentric nature, but beyond the opening melody and a few obvious lines of instrumentation, there's really nothing too festive about this song. The brief appearance of Rhodes in the pre-chorus was an unexpected curveball, but a nice touch nonetheless, with such a mellow and soothing sound being starkly juxtaposed with the whirring guitar. Despite not doing much to awaken my holiday spirit, Xmas is still one of Xdinary Hero's stronger tracks. And we're done. We made it out alive. This journey was very grueling at times, and I originally wanted to say that I had gotten zero value out of any of these songs. But after going through them again, I can now conclusively determine that it is a mixed bag. A pretty mediocre discography with some really bad songs sprinkled in there, but a few okay ones as well. Here's what I'll say. These guys, they're clearly very good at what they do, but what they do is not great. I'm not hating on their ability and talent, I'm merely critiquing the music. With that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.